Hi guys, sorry for the delay in getting this second session of our Director in 20 Weeks program out to you. We've just kind of been through the ringer and it seems like one thing after another. And just got back from Ivan's dad's funeral and ready to get back after it. Didn't realize how tired I looked though until trying to film myself. I look extremely tired, and I actually feel kind of tired too. But just wanted to quickly go over chapters 5 through 7 in Mary Christensen's book, Be a Direct Selling Superstar. So we're just going to do a quick overview of those. Hopefully you've all read them. And then we're going to go ahead and make some challenges. I want to just tell you that I appreciate your patience and your willingness to work on this, and really hoping for some really good and exciting things for each of you in the coming weeks and months. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in, and let me open something here. So, chapter 5 is about becoming a persuasive communicator, and just being willing to speak up. And there's a difference between those that have success with Sensi and those that don't. And in order to have that success, it's important for you to focus on the attitudes and skills of those people who actually have been experiencing that success. And the keys to success are simple, and they just need to be done effectively and consistently. And I could talk about consistency all day long, but it is true. Consistency is extremely important, and you just need to be effective in the use of your time. So Mary Christensen actually points out some keys to success, and they begin on page 47. And they are: market your products effectively, and this means that you need to hold parties and hold great parties. You need to service your customers regularly and generate repeat business. And that kind of goes back to the thing, I don't know if y'all watched the little clip that I posted on our team Facebook page about, in order to have consistent customers, you need to be consistent as a consultant. And that is so true. And then you need to actually share the hostess rewards enthusiastically. Compare them to other hostess rewards just for your own personal sake, because then you're going to realize how fantastic they really are. I actually hosted a party. It's been quite a while ago now, but for another direct selling company, for a consultant that I knew, and it was a jewelry company, and I was really excited, and I had a great party. Had sales that were over $1,000, and then she emailed me and said, "Hey, just so you know, you're not going to get hostess rewards because you need to have, I don't know, so many individual, like 10 individually ordering or individual ordering customers." And I think I had like 7, but the 7 customers all, that it all totaled together over $1,000. But because I didn't have individual customers up to like 10, I wasn't going to get hostess rewards. And I thought that was really crazy. But anyway, so our hostess rewards are really generous, and so you need to be enthusiastic about them, and then you're going to be able to get more bookings. And then you need to also be able to share the business opportunity persuasively, because you can't have a successful business without actually recruiting on a regular basis. And one way to do these things is to actually start with the end in mind. So great communicators do it, and so do great Sensi people. When you go to a party or event, you should be thinking about what you want to get out of it. How much you want to have in sales, how many bookings you want to get, how many recruiting conversations you want to have, and you need to write those down before each party. And you can do this for all types of parties. You can do this for home parties, catalog parties, Facebook parties, whatever kind of party you're having. You need to actually start with the end in mind and set specific goals and then work towards those goals, because it's so much easier to do it if you actually have them written down. Let's see. And then after each party, don't be afraid to kind of evaluate how you did. I think it's important to actually kind of look back and say, hey, what went well and what didn't go well? So kind of like break it down and learn from yourself and learn from your parties. And so after the parties, you can ask yourself these questions. And they're, again, they're in the book and they're on page 54. And the questions are, did I get what I wanted? If not, what part did I play in that? And what did I do well? What can I do better next time? And when will the next time be? And I think that there's no way for you to improve unless you're actually taking a good, hard, serious look at those key behaviors that allow you to be a successful consultant, and evaluating how you actually perform in those areas, and then making changes based on that performance. So that kind of sums up the chapter 5, and so we're going to go ahead and move on to chapter 6. And I really liked this. At the beginning of this chapter, she actually, and this chapter is called Work the Numbers. And Mary Christensen has a quote at the beginning, and it says, believe in everyone, but rely on no one. And that is so true. You definitely need to share that belief and the confidence that you have in them, because that really will rub off on them. But you can't rely on them. You have to always have like a plan A, B, C, D. You need to have those things in place so that when people let you down, because they will, you'll have a backup plan. And in this chapter, let me see if I can find it. There's a section that says keep on sponsoring. And I think that if it's been a few weeks since you read over this, I encourage you to just take a minute and read over that section. It's just like 2 pages long. But sponsoring is your route to the elite ranks of direct selling. And this is something that has to always happen. You have to always be sponsoring and looking for that next person that you're going to share the opportunity with. And if you genuinely believe in your business, then you're not going to hesitate to seek out and invite others to join in. And you need to also create, or I guess put yourself in places to meet people. I think sometimes, especially for me in the wintertime, I am home a lot of the time, and I kind of become a little bit of a homebody. And so recruiting for me actually slows down in those months typically. So I have to really make a conscious effort to get out and put myself in other circles and other circumstances. And so make sure that you have those opportunities to actually meet people and share the opportunity with them. And the more people that you meet, the more people that you'll be able to sponsor. And let's see. As much effort as you put into attracting your next recruit at the party, it's always going to be a whole lot easier than making cold calls in the morning or at some other time. So really, you need to utilize those parties. And again, whether they're online or basket parties or through actual home parties, those parties are your key. They are your direct line to people who potentially might join Sensi. And again, they're typically outside of your normal circle of friends, so capitalize on that opportunity and share that opportunity, the Sensi opportunity, with everybody at every event that you do. And let's see. One of the greatest advantages to direct selling is how easy it is to join. Um, Obviously, most people are looking to earn money, but there is really nothing easier than signing up for something like this, especially with Sensi only costing $99. It's such an easy thing to do, and yet such a big opportunity. And let's see. What else did I want to cover? Keep in mind that we can never control what our team members do. All of us are going to have people who disappoint us, who let us down. And again, that goes back to the quote that Mary shared at the beginning of this chapter, that we cannot really rely on anyone. But there's always going to be people that let us down, and that's going to be despite your best efforts to help them and to be the kind of sponsor that you should be. But so don't take it personally. Just know that it's going to happen. It's an easy business to get into, and it's also an easy business to get out of. And so as long as you can honestly say, hey, you know what, I'm doing what I need to for my team, for my downline, and supporting them, then you can just kind of chalk it up to, hey, this really wasn't a fit for this person. But if you can look at yourself and say, hey, you know what, I really wasn't a very good sponsor with this last person, I'm really going to make an effort to change and improve. Then again, evaluate what it is that you're maybe doing wrong, or the areas that you're falling short, and make those changes. And then Mary actually shares her top 10 sponsoring tips, and we don't have time to go over those, all of those in here, but they're in her book. And I would maybe just kind of make a little bit of a list and maybe stick it on your computer so that you always have those in front of you. But her number one tip is to give equal time to sponsoring. I think that we spend a lot of time trying to get our sales and to get our numbers, but we probably don't actually give at least 50% of our time to recruiting. And that needs to be your number one priority. Recruiting always should be your number one priority. And you should also be teaching your team members that as well. And then, let me see, I'm just going to share a couple. Go after successful people. I think sometimes we think, oh, I'm going to try to get this person or that person because I know they could use the money. And I think that's a good approach because definitely there's a need there that you're very aware of. But don't shy away from people who are super successful because your success will depend on how successful the people are that you sponsor, or how successful they become in the business. And so you're going to want to look for the most talented people that you can find. Don't shy away from approaching successful people. And then, let's see. And then tip 5 is don't spill all the beans. And keep in mind that your first approach to people should just create a spark or an interest. You're not there to answer all of the questions on that first encounter. You just want to create that interest so that they think about it, and you kind of get those wheels churning in their mind. Because if you share with them too much information, it's going to be information overload right from the get-go, and they are going to be a little bit more turned off than you think. So kind of let them set the pace or determine the pace. So if you have somebody who starts asking you questions after you've kind of piqued their interest, then fine, go ahead and explore that a little farther. But if you have somebody who is just kind of more of a quiet type, and you have shared with them the basics, just kind of let that simmer. Don't feel like you got to keep on pumping them with more information or more details. And so those are just a few that I have highlighted. But again, make that list of 1 to 10, the top 10 recruiting tips from Mary, and post that someplace that you can be aware of it and look at it often. And just keep in mind that too often leaders spend more time on leadership and busy work and not enough time on recruiting. And I know that's something that I kind of suffer from sometimes, and I'm really trying to make a concerted effort this year to switch that around. So I encourage you to actually start that now and spend at least 50% of your time in your Scentsy business on actually just recruiting. And let's see what kind of a difference that makes. And then make sure that you teach your downline to do the same. Teach them to give enough time to this very, very critical element of their business. And then chapter 7 is the next one we want to just briefly go over, and that is walk the talk. And it says that your team will do as you do, not as you say. So you need to be out there actually setting goals, achieving them, and making things happen in your own business so that people can see that it's doable and that you're doing it as well. And every promoting leader should spend half of their available time on personal activity, and I kind of want to change that up and say that you should spend half of your available time for your business on recruiting, because and it's not that you're always going to do this, but for those of you who are working towards promoting to director, I really think that that would be a key behavior for you to implement over the next few months, and just see what happens with this. And then once you promote to director, if you want, you're going to kind of probably have to pull back a little bit on the percentage of time you spend on recruiting. And it's not that you're not going to give it time, because you definitely need to, but you need to spend a little bit more time probably with your team as well. But it says that every promoting leader should spend half of all available time on personal activity. So this means that as a leader, you should spend half of your time selling and recruiting within your own business, not just being a leader and motivating and answering questions and training people and all of that busy work. And those things are really important. But again, you need to walk the talk, and you can't do that unless you're actually working your own business. And talk, let's see. Oh, in the book, she gives 6 steps to making sure that you are working your business. And let me see. And that's on page 75. That's where it starts. And so I'm just going to go over a few of them. Make sure that you list the sales and sponsoring goals that you have each month, and then also commit to working regular hours. That's really important. And consistently work your business. Don't just talk about working your business, but actually work it. And so those are kind of the key points from the chapters 5, 6, and 7. And I want to issue a couple of challenges. And I'm going to try to post a little document. I'm not sure if it'll work, but try to post a document for you to kind of keep track of or schedule your actual days out. And I know you probably all have a planner, but it might just be easier to begin with doing it on a separate little sheet of paper. Monday through Saturday or Monday through Friday, these are the things that I'm actually going to do. But I want to challenge you to all start by writing down your goal for PRV, your goal for bookings, and your recruiting conversations. Not just actual recruiting, but the recruiting conversations that you're going to have within the next week. I want you to write them down, and then I want you to share them on our Facebook page, on the Director in 20 page. And then discuss how it, after this week passes, I want you to discuss, so we're going to actually go from now until next Thursday. So you're going to write your PRV goal, your booking goal and your recruiting conversations, the goal that you have for the next week, and then actually post how well you did. And I also, when I talk about recruiting conversations, you should be having a significant amount of recruiting conversations with people each week, if not each day, because obviously the more that you share those opportunities with people, the more you're going to actually recruit. And let's see. So the personal business activity tracker, like I said, I will try to upload that to our team page, and our director in 20 weeks page. And you're just going to write down, the key business activities that you want to have during the next week. But I would like you to actually make sure that 50% of your time that you spend on your Scentsy business is actually spent on recruiting. And let's just see if that doesn't make a difference for all of you. I appreciate your hard work, and believe it or not, because I was kind of lumping a few chapters together, we're really not that far behind. I think we're only like 1 or 2 chapters behind the rest of the group that are participating in this. And again, I appreciate your patience. And also, just this is a reminder for you to text me and set up a time for me to call you, and so that we can touch bases and just check in to see how things are going and what you're working on as you work towards director. And so this video right here and me telling you this is going to serve as your reminder. And Kara, I know you've been totally on top of it and had texted me a while back, but I am available now. So text me and we'll get things set up. And you guys have a great week, and let's work on recruiting and see if we can't spend at least half of our time working half of our time that we work our businesses actually should be spent on recruiting. You guys take care, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.